What's up, YouTube? It's the Action Figure Grader, and I am again at my office at a way too early hour. So, like I've said in my previous video, I don't have my tripod with me, so this video might be a little bit shaky, but I'm going to try and go through a few other figures that I have stacked up in my office and ready for AFA grading. I'm just waiting on money. So, here are a few Star Wars and mainly G.I. Joe figures. I got one vintage figure and then a bunch of modern G.I. Joes and then a couple of modern Star Wars figures. These have been in my office for a long time. Some of them are fairly recent purchases, but I wanted to show you a few of them and talk about them. And eventually they'll go out for AFA grading later this year. But let's go kind of left to right here. This is Dusty in his Desert Trooper outfit, along with his dog, or a coyote, or whatever you want to call it. Dusty was a vintage G.I. Joe, and they re-released him this year in his desert outfit in the figure subscription service, the monthly kind of subscription service. This is the last year for the FSS, but they released this Dusty, and he just looks awesome, so I got him and wanted to add him to the pile. But just a really, really cool figure. I'll zoom in a little bit so you can see the dog. And that dog / wolf is kind of modeled after the Snake Eyes version of the modern G.I. Joes. And I'll show you him in a second. The Snake Eyes dog named Timber, or Wolf, or whatever you want to call him. They basically modeled him after this. So that's what Dusty looks like. And then I've got the Snake Eyes version with the black variant. And so here's that. As you can see, the dog looks pretty much exactly the same, except he's black. This Snake Eyes Commando, is a modern release. This is on the 25th anniversary card, but they had two different variants of this. They had a kind of gray or / white version of the dog, Timber, and then this black version is much more rare and much more highly sought. So this is what I'm going to get graded. I have the white version of Timber also, but I didn't bother getting him graded because it's a fairly common figure. But this one is pretty hard to find in good condition. So we'll get that one graded as well. Let's see what else we got here. This is a vintage figure. I say vintage, but this was at the very, very end of the G.I. Joe run, the original run. And this is Storm Shadow in his Ninja Force outfit. You can see him there. Pretty cool mold. It's kind of an interesting update, but I believe this came out in 1995, and it has like a whirlwind karate chop motion. He's like just another update. They came out with a subgroup called Ninja Force, and this is the Storm Shadow, and this is in very good shape, so I expect a good grade on him. But pretty cool outfit. Let's see what else we got. This is Stalker. This is another variant figure on the 25th anniversary card. So there's two versions of this that are Stalker. You can see in the artwork it's got more of a greenish kind of look to his camouflage. This is the yellow mustard version. Again, this is another very hard to find figure, hard to find variant. And so I'm going to get this one graded. You can see that his camouflage is like a yellow mustard color, and was made in very limited runs. So that's that. I've got a couple of JoeCon exclusives. You can see where it says JoeCon exclusive up there in the corner. This is an updated version of the vintage figure named Tunnel Rat that came out with him this year. I think it was in August or July of this year. And it was only available at the last JoeCon ever that was held in Tennessee. I didn't get to go to it. I live in Tennessee, but the JoeCon was the last one ever, at least until G.I. Joe becomes popular again. But Tunnel Rat is like an explosives expert, and they updated him with kind of some new colors and a new mold. But a very cool figure. Lots of accessories. You can see the sniper rifle. I don't know what that gigantic gun is. That's pretty hideous, but I like the ammo belts and his satchel. But you can see there in his artwork, he's a TNT explosives expert, and so that's a cool figure. The other one I have is from the same JoeCon, is this remolded Python Paratrooper, Python Patrol. Python Patrol was a subgroup that I've got a few vintage figures in my videos, but Again, there's the Joe-Con exclusives, but this is the paratrooper made with the Python Patrol logo. You can see that on his parachute there on towards his middle. And a very, very cool update of the 25th anniversary figure. Another figure that's very, very difficult to find. And you can see the parachute. That's an actual parachute, so with fabric. So very cool figure. There was about there's a Rock Viper, a Heat Viper, and one other Viper that they also made in this Python Patrol kind of color design. But this is I believe the only carded Python Patrol figure from the Joe-Con. So let's see. Next, we got an older one. This one came out, I believe, in 07. Yeah, 2007. This was a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. You can see it's got the 25th anniversary logo. So this was kind of right towards the beginning of when Hasbro decided to update the G.I. Joes with a modern look. But this is Destro in his what's called Pimp Daddy outfit. He's got this ridiculous looking leopard skin thing going on. And this has got the gold head. There's also a silver-headed version of this same figure. So there's two variants. I've got the silver-headed version graded 8.5 already, but I'm going to send this one in as well. It's got the gold foil behind him, but a very cool figure. You can see there, it's got the artwork for Destro on the back and his foul card. But this is another very expensive figure that came out in 2007, and I love the look of it. I believe China came out with the original Pimp Daddy Destro. One just sold on eBay for about $1,200, so they were fairly rare. And Hasbro updated him for the San Diego Comic-Con in 2007, but pretty cool figure. And then the last G.I. Joe on this pile is another figure subscription exclusive figure subscription service exclusive. Man, that's a lot of words. But this is a Cobra Android Trooper. As you guys have seen in some of my previous videos, I'm a big fan of the bats. And this is the Inferno bat. There is also a Nano bat that's greenish in color, like a lime green. I don't have that one yet, but this red one looks pretty cool. It's basically like a fire trooper, battle android trooper. So you can see all the different appendages and attachments there. But another really cool figure. And then I've got two modern Star Wars figures. I've got this George Lucas in Stormtrooper disguise. This was a mail-away exclusive as part of the Saga Collection. You can see George Lucas there. He's laughing all the way to the bank now that he sold Star Wars to Disney. But this is kind of a ridiculous figure. I bought this on a whim, but it's still in its original packaging. So hopefully it'll get an uncirculated grade. And, I don't know what I'm going to do with it. It doesn't really fit in with the rest of my collection since I don't have any other Saga Collection figures graded. But, these go for $75 to $100 ungraded. And so I picked this one up. And then the last one is one of my favorite characters from the vintage line, Bosk. As you guys know, I've got one of these being graded right now in the vintage figure loose format. But this is the Saga Collection of Bosks, a fairly common figure, but in good shape and still the original packaging. So you can see the updated there versus, the homage to the original Bosk, but a very awesome mold for him. So we'll see what we get with these, but again, I won't be sending these off for a while, but I just thought you'd like to see some of the other figures I have at my office while I'm waiting on a couple of things for work. I will be in touch soon. Have a good weekend. Talk to you soon.